Hello folks and welcome to a new game I'm going to be recording at the moment. Ignore the words on the screen. This game is called Homeworld Cataclysm. It was called Homeworld Cataclysm the entirety of my childhood, and then the World of Warcraft expansion came out, and then Blizzard copyrighted the word Cataclysm apparently, so it was changed to Homeworld Emergence. Disregard that, I will be calling this Cataclysm, as well should you. This is a very old real-time strategy game set in the Homeworld universe. It came out after Homeworld 1, before Homeworld 2, and the setup is slightly different to Homeworld. It was kind of that's a Homeworld game. I don't want to give away too much for people who haven't played it yet. It's been a long time since I've played it. I'm going to do training, not because I want to remember how a RTS works, I'm well aware of that. It's more that this game is old enough that a lot of RTS conventions that nowadays are just standard hadn't been established by this point. So I was to remember, how does this game actually control? So we'll go to training, and we'll go from there. How about that? And then we'll do single player with the whole campaign. We'll begin training, and see how it goes from there. Session 1. Let's start tutorial.
Welcome to the Homeworld Cataclysm tutorial.
Told you.
This tutorial is divided into 12 lessons. Each lesson has objectives listed in the bottom left corner. As in the regular single-player game, clicking on these will provide you with detailed information about an objective. If at any time you need more information on how to complete a lesson objective, clicking the objective listing will give you instructions. If you are familiar with Homeworld and know how to complete an objective without explanation, you can do so. You can even skip the objective altogether, though a refresher never hurts.
I agree with you, but it's been a while.
You can proceed to the next lesson at any time by clicking the button labeled Next Lesson. You can restart a lesson or go back to a previous lesson by clicking the button labeled Restart Lesson. Pressing the backspace key will skip from one speech event to the next. For this tutorial, it is best if your key configuration is set to the game's default.
It is, mostly.
If you have altered your key bindings in the options screen prior to beginning the tutorial, you can reset them by pressing Escape. This will bring up the game menu. From there, you can access the key configuration settings by clicking the Options button.
The main thing I changed is I removed a conflict for my recording key, which is in the F keys. One of the F keys is a recording key. Anyway, click this objective to complete lesson 1.
Good. The objective for lesson 1 is now complete. Click the Next Lesson button to move on to lesson 2.
Will do. Camera turn, okay. It was, I think, right-click spin.
This lesson deals with controlling the camera in Cataclysm.
I could be wrong.
Click an objective to continue with the lesson.
Rotating cameras, please.
To move the camera view around, click and hold the right mouse button. Then, by moving the mouse left or right, you can rotate the camera horizontally relative to your ships.
Okay, good. I always loved Homeworld. The look of Homeworld. I have yet to play Homeworld 3. I don't want to play Homeworld 3. I've heard so many bad things about it. I don't want to taint my memory of the Homeworld series. Yeah, this is our command ship. This is the Kuun-Lan, our command ship. Move the camera view to the top of the command ship.
By clicking and holding the right mouse button, and then moving the mouse up or down, you can move the camera into
zooming
overhead or underside. The camera can be zoomed in and out relative to your ship. Hold both mouse buttons and move the mouse up and down to move the camera in and out. If you have a mouse wheel, rolling it will do the same thing.
Now, this game clearly came out at a time, way back in the past, where it was not a given that every mouse had a wheel in it. I remember when a mouse wheel first came out, I was like, oh my god, a mouse wheel is amazing. But these games came out before that, so in case you don't have a mouse wheel, you hold both left and right click and can do this, but if you have a mouse wheel, you can just do it a lot faster.
The lesson is now complete. Click the Next Lesson button when you are ready to move on.
Also, this game was definitely not made for I'm playing this in 1080p, and this game was clearly not made for that. You can barely tell what these things are. Selection.
This lesson deals with selecting ships.
Okay, sure.
You issue a command. Left-clicking on a ship by itself will select that ship.
Recon,
if the ship is in formation with other ships, left-clicking it will select all the ships in the group.
Ah.
Clicking the ship a second time will select that individual ship.
Interesting. So defaults to group selection.
Just tell me where to go.
Okay, noted. So if I click on it,
Just say the
if I click on any of the recons, it gets
Let me at
the whole
'em.
formation gets selected. If I click on another
Just
one,
tell me
it
where to
unique
go.
set. Okay. Ban select more than one type of ship. I'm gonna guess it's this.
Recon, ready to go.
Select ships through the ship list at the top right.
Receiving.
Cool.
Let me at 'em. Just say the
Use
word.
shift to add ships to selection.
The lesson is now complete.
Good.
Click the next lesson button when you are ready to move on.
Okay, good. Next. Focusing. Focus on a selection.
This lesson covers focusing the camera. To focus the camera on any ships you have selected, press the F key. The first time you focus, the view will center on the ship. A second time will move the view in close to the selected ships.
Recon,
Alternately,
ready to go.
you can hold the Alt key and left-click on an object to focus in close on it. This Alt focus allows you to focus the camera on most anything in the game, including your... The lesson is now complete. Click the
Roger,
next
command.
lesson button
Roger,
when you are
command.
ready to move on.
An acolyte.
Remember that once you have focused the camera, you can use the right mouse button to rotate the camera around, and either the mouse wheel or both mouse buttons to zoom in and out.
Okay, good. Ooh, right-click menu as well. Okay, we'll get to that in due course. All right, next. Bring out the right-click menu. Done.
Going into docking pattern.
This lesson covers the Sensors Manager,
Sorry.
which is a broad tactical overview of the mission area, and gives an introduction to the right-click menu. Activate the Sensors Manager. Right-click the mouse pointer anywhere on
to
the
hangar.
screen to bring up the right-click menu. This menu is
Going
used
into
to
docking
issue
pattern.
commands to selected ships, switch views, and more. Almost any action can be controlled through the right-click menu.
Special action, move, star waypoints, tactics, focus, on selected, on command ship, on event, on ships in view, Alt F, sensors manager, space, build manager, B, research manager, R, systems manager, S, SIP overlay is tab, tactical overlay is caps. Right, tactical overlay will be useful, especially if I'm zoomed out and stuff like that. That would be very, very useful. Anyway, open the sensors manager, which is space.
This is the Sensors Manager. All of the commands you can issue from the main view, such as selecting, attacking, or moving, can also be issued here within the Sensors Manager. These commands will be discussed later. You can still click and hold the right mouse button to change your view, and click and hold both mouse buttons, or the mouse wheel if you have it, to zoom in and out while the Sensors Manager is active. While you can move your view however you like, a top-down view is often the best overview of your fleet in Sensors Manager. This is your command ship.
Yes.
All ships appearing in the Sensors Manager are color-coded. Your ships appear in green.
Yes.
Hostile ships are red.
Yes.
Friendly ships, such as allied ships, you can exit Sensors Manager by using the right-click menu and selecting the heading.
Done.
The lesson is now complete. Click.
Moving in waypoints. Move a ship into a cluster of asteroids. Oh, this
lesson deals
was...
with moving ships and setting up patrol paths.
Okay.
If you have ships selected, you can activate the right-click menu
Ready.
and select Move from the menu.
Get the fighters.
Alternately,
command.
you can access the Movement Manager by pressing the M key. Activate the Movement Manager now. This is the Movement Manager. It will be locked open for the time being in order to demonstrate its usage. You can still click and hold the right mouse button to change your view, and click and hold both mouse buttons, or the mouse wheel if you have it, to zoom in and out, even while the Movement Manager is active. This is often handy when trying to place the destination point in a particular area. This is a good angle to use when in the Movement Manager. It gives you a very clear picture of where everything is in
Well,
three-dimensional
not entirely. I wish
space.
I wish that these things
All the
have
ships
like
can move
vertical
by placing the pointer
bars.
where you want to go.
I wish the art of these
To
they
move
did.
ships vertically, hold the Shift key while moving the pointer.
Oh yes, you move this
When
around.
the Movement Manager is open, ships in view will have an orange line drawn.
There you go, that's the
them
ping.
to
So if you
indicate
use
their
Shift, I can go up and
position
down.
or in
Oh,
relation
it's
to
not
the
letting me right now,
height
because of
of
course
the
it's bloody not.
Movement Manager. These lines are also drawn for pings while moving in Sensors Manager. If you move the pointer to the base of a height line, then hold down Shift to adjust the pointer's height. You can use the height line as a guide to help you move the pointer to a specific position relative to another ship.
Okay.
Once you have the pointer where you would like your ships to go, and you are ready to have them move out, click the left mouse button. The lockdown on Movement Manager is now released, and you can move your ships.
Underway.
There we go. Incoming 4 acolytes moving to that patch of asteroids over there. Oop, lovely.
Waypoints are a series of points in space which make up a path for a ship to move along. As an example, you can use waypoints to set up patrol paths, define a search pattern, or to move your ships around and away from large enemy forces. Go into the right-click menu and select Start Waypoints.
It's W, I believe, isn't it?
This is the Waypoint Manager.
W.
It works exactly the same as the Movement Manager, only every time you left-click a specific point, the manager will mark the point and remain open so you can add new points to your waypoint path. There are 3 types of waypoint paths. Linear waypoint mode will direct the ships to follow the waypoints and wait at the end. End-to-end waypoint mode will instruct the ships to follow the waypoint path to the end, turn around, and follow the waypoints back again.
Okay.
The ships will continue to follow the path like this until they are instructed otherwise. Circular waypoint mode will instruct the ships to follow the waypoints. Then, when they reach the final waypoint, to head back to the first point and start following the path again, making a closed patrol loop. The ships will continue to follow this path until they are given other orders. These modes can be set by opening the right-click menu, selecting the heading Start Waypoints, and then selecting the waypoint mode you want from the subheadings. Once you have created the waypoint pattern you want, pressing the W key will close the waypoint manager and set the selected ships along
So
that
waypoints
path.
there, and then make that a circular waypoint. And waypoints.
Underway.
The lesson is now
Done.
complete.
Are they still dancing around? They are still dancing around, interesting.
Ready. Returning to hangar.
This lesson teaches how to issue attack commands. Click an objective to continue with the
Sure.
lesson.
Click on a drone to target it.
When you have combat vessels selected
Moving
and you
to
move your
attack.
mouse over enemy
And then
ships,
control banding
you will
as
see
well,
the
I remember
pointer
this.
change. This new
Target.
point,
Yeah,
the lesson is now complete.
let them go
The
in.
next lesson button when you are ready to move on.
They split their fire up a bit. Intentionally or otherwise, I'm not sure, but they split their fire up a little bit. And you get some experience on that acolyte over there. Next. Build 2 workers. I'm not even going to click on that. I'm just going to guess. B
This
to
lesson
build,
covers how to build
workers
ships.
to
Ship construction is done in the Build Manager.
pause batch, cancel batch info. Right, okay. Workers, yep. So we have recon, info, firepower 40, coverage 4%, maneuverability very high, armor 25, max velocity 1,050 meters per second. That's not how velocity works in space, but sure. You care about acceleration, not speed. Acolyte, 85 firepower, coverage 6%, still way more armor, slower though, more mass, same SU cost, required fighter drive, workers, way more higher armor, like way higher armor, slower, high mass, 2 of those please build.
Construction underway.
And it's the cost is progressive. It's not removed all at once. It is progressive cost. Okay. You two, hi. Can you get back in
Going into docking pattern.
dock all ready for this? And they'll dock onto the command ship, but then they should come out in parade formation, which is what these ones here are in. The game also has a very dynamic, whatchamacallit, level of detail, and it's overcorrecting, I think, is what it's doing. It doesn't have to overcorrect, it's assuming that
Acolyte locked down.
it's old levels of resolution. It's not, it's new levels of resolution, so it shouldn't have to overcompensate, but it does. Yeah, it's the first one. The second one's being made. Just checking for graphics for that. Video. Effects high. Yeah, so this is as good as it's gonna go. It's just full detail. Accept. Right, this is the second worker. Because it does. In the past, it would have to, you know, affect the as you zoomed out. There's no reason for a model to have full level of detail. I do love the visual designs of these ships, though.
The lesson is now complete.
Yeah, we built a couple of workers. Next lesson, please.
Button when you are ready to.
It's 9. Harvesting, repairing, and salvaging. Repair the destroyer,
This
please.
lesson covers the 3 important functions of a worker: harvesting resources, repairing ships, and salvaging. These 3 special abilities are good examples of context-sensitive actions. By learning how to use the worker's special abilities, you will learn how to use those
Repair,
of the other ships in your
capture,
fleet.
mine.
Note that the workers you have here in the tutorial are already upgraded with repair and salvaging technologies. Outside of this tutorial, in order to use these abilities, the appropriate technology must be researched,
Yep,
and
cool.
workers must then be properly
Let's start
upgraded.
repairing the destroyer.
Researching and upgrading will be covered later.
So special
Click an
actions
objective to
are
continue
harvest,
with the
repair,
lesson.
and salvage. Yeah, so we'll tell you to repair that.
Worker ready.
Once you've repaired that, we'll salvage that, and then we'll harvest resources. This is our destroyer. If I recall correctly, cannon, missile launcher, and then ion gun, I think? 2 ion cannons. M15, not sure what M15, missiles, 15 missiles. This is the destroyer, what the destroyers were in Cataclysm. Destroyers are very important ships in Cataclysm, for reasons will be more important later on in the plot. I seem to recall the very end basically having pretty much just capital ships, for reasons. Alright, repair the destroyer, lovely, we'll salvage... No, stop. Okay. Cancel.
Weapons crew, stand down.
Worker here.
Let's capture you. What I did is I selected the Kuun-Lan and told the Kuun-Lan to attack the iron cannon frigate. Alright, I believe capturing... Do they have to be damaged to capture, I wonder? I forget. This one seems to be damaged, but I can't remember what the rules for salvaging are. Let's find out.
This is an example of a special action. When the mouse cursor changes from an arrow to an icon, this indicates a special action is available. The action can then be triggered by clicking the right mouse button.
Enemy vessel now under fleet control.
For instance, when the mouse pointer is moved over an asteroid while workers are selected, the cursor will turn into a shovel,
Understood.
indicating that clicking the right mouse button. The lesson is now complete.
Cool, I can't quite remember. We'll figure it out. I was expecting them to have to bring it like into into docking. The fact that they don't have to do that's kind of cool, actually.
Another way to perform special actions is to hold down the Z key, then left-click and drag the mouse pointer across the
Interesting. Fair enough.
ships or
Okay,
items
good.
that you
We'll be
wish.
learning. Advanced attacking, formations, and tactics.
This lesson covers advanced topics in attacking, such as how to put a selection of ships into formation and how to set tactics.
Okay,
Click an objective to continue with the
pick
lesson.
those. Set into formations. Delta formation.
Delta, formation set.
Set them into aggressive tactics.
Going to high alert now.
G for guard.
Escorts
Yep.
assigned.
Then form a selection groups. Get all these in
Just
control
tell me
1.
where-
Setting.
The
Done.
lesson is now complete.
Obviously
Click the
not.
next
Say the
lesson button
word.
when you are ready to move on.
It'll be 1.
Setting assigned group 1.
Backlights will be 2.
Setting assigned group 2.
Good.
Heading back out.
Researching and upgrading.
This lesson covers how to research upgrades for your fleet. This is done through the Research Manager.
Press
You can
R.
activate the Research Manager from the right-click menu.
So we got
by
fighter
selecting
drive.
the heading View and the subheading Research
Aside
Manager.
for the construction of acolytes,
Alternately,
mimics,
you can access the
ACVs,
Research
and
Manager
MCVs.
by pressing the R key.
Leads to advanced fighter drive technology. Standard drive for fighter
This is
class.
the
The
Research
drive engineering is
You can
Shush.
move from the research
Quiet
manager
you.
to the other command function managers and back again through these buttons. The research manager works a lot like the build manager.
Fine, let
When
her
you
talk.
want to research a technology, click on it in the list on the left. You can then double-click the technology or click the research button below to begin research.
Okay.
As in the build manager, clicking the info button will give more information on selected technologies.
Salvaging technology mainly is... No, it's no specification. Upgrade for workers, allows ships to salvage enemy ships. Yeah, fine. And then repairing systems, linking technology.
Research underway.
Get that done. Just to get it done. We'll spend time reading these things up while we're doing the campaign. First episode is going to be this the tutorial, just for me to remind myself how this works. And it's all coming back to me now, so we'll probably finish that quite quickly. I am
Research
reminded.
completed.
Link technology research has been completed. Any new acolytes you build will have this technology. As well,
Returning to hangar.
you can now upgrade previously built acolytes.
Right, so yeah, so you have to tell them to dock to upgrade, or specifically I told them to upgrade, so they'll dock and upgrade. So they don't immediately get upgraded. They're not immediately upgraded, they have to dock to upgrade first of all. And you can link the upgrade, like I remember this very much, if let me just focus on these two. If I hit these, if I select these two,
Roger, command.
link is special action, link L.
Beginning link now. Docked.
And they become
The
ACVs.
lesson is now complete.
An Acolyte
Click the
composite
next
vehicle, I
lesson button
remember.
when you are ready to move on.
So they become basically a single
Roger, command.
Corvette class, rather than some fighter classes.
Receiving. Receiving. Ready.
L.
Preparing to dock.
There you go, they're docked into they're next. Right, turn on tactical view, tab.
This lesson covers various other
Sorry, it's
features
caps.
of Homeworld Cataclysm.
Corvettes, they're classified as
Click an
Corvettes.
objective
Cool.
to continue
It's like when
with the
recon and
lesson.
turn on chase camera view. View, chase camera. The pilot view? It's pilot view. Apparently. Retire a ship. Home. View. Okay, let's go. So you, we will go for. We shall retire you.
Return ship and stand down.
Roger, command.
We shall scuttle. Tactics, focus, view, special action.
Receiving.
How to scuttle a ship. Retiring a ship, I believe, gets you your resources back. I seem to recall. Scuttling a ship.
If you are worried about your ship being captured, or you need the support units, you can order a ship to scuttle itself. To order a self-destruct or scuttle of a ship, select the ship and hit the Shift plus the S keys. The ship will then ask for confirmation. If you then hit the Shift plus the S keys again
Time compression
quickly,
is.
in single-player missions, you can use time compression to speed things up. With time compression on, the world moves by at 8 times the speed. This is useful in cases such
Backslash.
as at the end. This is the end of the Homeworld Cataclysm tutorial.
Good.
All of the topics covered here are also explained in greater detail in the manual, along
Target
with
acquired.
helpful quick keys and other useful information.
These are the
Click
ACVs.
the quit button to exit.
And they are getting experience over time.
Roger, command.
You notice that they turned and fired at the same time, which is kind of cool. Anyway, we shall quit. We shall go back to this. And next time, folks, we will start the actual campaign. Single player, must play as the as the Kuun-Lan. We get to pick our colors, though. I think I'll keep the default color. Oh, why we keep the default colors? Well, there's Nemo colors, aren't there? Which is like kind of purpley color. Which is kind of a dark purple. And some kind of gold as well. We might go for that one. I'll go for that. Anyway, folks, I'll catch you all next time. We'll do some normal, because I can't remember how this works. But yeah, I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.